Hey folks, it's Wednesday and I have more things to share, so I'm back, 10:28. And this is the way that I make video and the way that it's the way I encourage people to just, do your thing. If you like this experience of sharing your thoughts about music, whatever, even if you're doing videos not related to vinyl records, but somehow you have found me and us, you just make the video if you want to. Don't worry about whether or not somebody watches. I don't, I feel blessed that people are interested in what I have to say, or whatever reason it is that people watch. It's great. So I have a busy day. I have a lunch date and just came back from meeting a couple of folks because a student at one of the local universities recently came to one of my shows and did a review. And he posted it online on his blog, but the student newspaper at the university he goes to here, University of Nebraska at Omaha, the Gateway, picked up the article for this week's paper, and I just went out there to get a couple copies for my archives. Yes, I sure do love getting in the press. Let's see if we can, local veteran melds jazz and rock. There I am. And then a picture from the show with, and it's a really well written article. I will leave a link to the online blog where you can read this if you're interested. And I was only able to get a couple of copies of this from him, so definitely one for my archive and maybe one as a special gift or something with the sale. But a really well written article. Stefan Snyder's is the young man's name. So I went out to his job and picked up some copies for my archives. On the way back home, I stopped because it was on the same street as Almost Music. So I stopped in there to say hello and to see if by chance they had anything. Well, two different things, actually. I went in there because I knew that they still had a copy of my Sonospheres album in the store. And this is the last copy. There may be another copy in store in Omaha, but I've been sold out of these for over a year. So I picked up a sealed copy. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but it's been sitting in the store for a year. I'd rather have it here at the house, and someone can contact me if they're interested. I'm not going to give it away, so it might be sitting here, Someone that might be willing to pay for this, get a hold of me, okay? So anyway, as well as that, in store, they didn't have anything new that I felt the need to get. They had stuff I wanted. But in the used section, I spotted this and I thought to myself, if I don't buy this today, it isn't going to be here. So I grabbed it. A pristine used copy of the reissue of Sleep's Dope Smoker. And it's like brand new. It's like a brand new copy. And yeah, that's the sticker. I do know this music already. Years ago, I had an opportunity to buy an original copy and just thought they wanted too much for it. They wanted $50, and I should have got it. But this is a nice 180-gram green splatter on Southern Lord. I really like this music, and Al Cisneros in particular. I feel that man when he plays and sings. Mainly, I really feel his guitar playing. I feel it. It's got a lot of soul. And he just plays basically one or two chords, but man, he puts everything of his being into it. So I was very happy to pick this up today. Very happy to add Sleep's Dope Smoker to my vinyl collection, finally. Just before I go, I'll show you some stuff I was listening to in the last day or two, or whatever, still sitting down here. Thinking about Halloween, and also thinking about my friend Rick Agnew. I played Christian Death, the whole side one, only Theater of Pain. Some of you folks that follow me know that I have played with Rick Agnew, had him here at the house. He made a video with me, and we did some trading, and he sent me this record. It's a reissue on purple vinyl with the bonus 7-inch. And this album really is a classic. I understand. You know, I'm not into the dark Satan bullshit. That's what I call it, bullshit. Teenage adolescent fascination with the darkness. And, you know, I'm well past that. But do I recognize that these guys came together and made something very unique? They really did. This is a hell of an album. Some techno, Emmanuel Top, Asteroid. And this is the sort of thing that I don't want to do, although I like to listen to it. He creates a groove, and it just subtly shifts over a 15, 18-minute time period. Nothing much happens, but somehow it captivates you. I do like this, but I don't endeavor to make stuff like it. With Halloween in mind, I was playing some Goblin, Profondo Rosso. This is their first album, and this is an album of mine, an original. It's an original, and it's from my old collection. I had the opportunity to buy this back in the last year or so from another collector that I sold it to. Had the opportunity to buy it back. Also played this, Non Hosono by Goblin. Some folks think that the later Goblin isn't as good as the original, and my own opinion is, if you just listen to what they're doing, you'll see that they're not trying to repeat themselves, and they're still very good. This is very good Goblin. Very good. Recently, I picked this up through my job, actually. My friend in Germany, who was, sort of he's not really my boss, but, we work together. But he sent this to me. I ordered it, and then he sent it to him. They sent it to him, then he mailed it to me. Gracious. It's a reissue on a budget label, seems like, with this back cover, because this is originally on Vertigo, and originals of this are very pricey. This is out on Tapestry Records, but the pressing is very good. It's about 180-gram vinyl pressing, very quiet. And this album is an example of one of those records that is worth, musically, it's worth the hype. Vertigo UK pressings to many collectors are like grails. There's a mystique about the label, so the UK pressings of this on Vertigo go for $500, $600, even $1,000, But I have the music, and I have it on vinyl, so I can spin the record, and it's a great album. It's that English prog thing where they're mixing up stuff from the church, from history, into something that's really new for the time. I love a great album. This is gracious. I have this out because it was being talked about online. I'm going to play it. I haven't played this in years. This was the first Charles Mingus album I ever bought. And this says that it was released in 1974. I believe that's when I bought the album. It was in 1974. Mingus Moves. I intend to put this on today and refamiliarize myself with the mighty, magnificent Charles Mingus and his music. Played this a couple days ago. Ela Craig, Swiss band. Proggy, pop prog. They get dissed. I disagree. I don't know what it is, Side 2 of this is a prog rock tour de force. And look at that clunky, funky ass cover. It's great. Ela Craig. I recommend this myself. Critics be damned a lot of times. It's like, I don't care if my opinion aligns with the critics. Many critics have gotten it right, but I think there's also been critics who have steered us wrong because they didn't get it. And so consequently, history has been shaped by people who didn't understand something, and now everybody thinks it's uncool. I hate that. So that's why I say things the way I do. Steve Hackett Defector. ex-Genesis guitarist, still going strong, on tour now. One of the guitar players who I list as an actual influence on the way I play, Steve Hackett, strong. I love this album, Defector, love it. Along those lines, I played this solo album by Tony Banks, the keyboardist from Genesis, The Fugitive. His solo records have not fared well with the fans, mainly I think because of his voice. He can't sing, and then his choice of vocalists has been inconsistent. But this album musically is fan-freaking-tastic. You know, if you like Genesis, this is the guy that, you know, kind of blueprinted their sound in a lot of ways. I love the music on this album. The vocals are just so-so, but the music is wonderful on here. The Fugitive. More prog. I've been in a prog vein. Curved Air live. They're back going. Sonia Christina back at it. This is a good album. Very spirited. She really rocks out live. You know, her delivery kind of reminds me of the Wilson sisters of Heart on here. Really ballsy. David Torn, excellent guitarist. And this album, Cloud About Mercury, I got this through VCLT. I can almost remember who gave it to me. With Mark Isham, Tony Levin, and Bill Bruford. Yes, take note of that lineup. This album is monster on ECM. Instrumental. Look it up and listen. You'll know if it's for you, but it's fantastic. I'll go a little bit longer. Clan of Zymox. 4AD, back in the halcyon days of 4AD. Their first album for the label. And I had to play this twice all the way through because it's just so damn good. I don't know. I just kind of want to refuse, for the most part, to talk in genres. I bring up genre when it naturally comes up. These guys got lumped into goth. And I think sometimes those titles or descriptives can take away from people's ability to just hear the music. This is just damn good. Got into a mood for some Porcupine Tree and listened to The Incident. This is one where when it came out it was like, okay, it's grown. And this is the limited edition version. Very nice with the slipcase and the double album and the big thick ass book. I do love the way that Stephen Wilson is a collector himself and caters to the collector the way that he produces his records. This is very good, very good. I'll mention this, but I'm going to do a separate video for it. Bob Bucko Jr., BBJR, who I did a show with last month, on last part of his tour, sent me. He told me he was going to send me a copy of his latest album, and it arrived. I did what I could with what I had. I really like this. I'm going to do a review on it in a full review after I really listen to it, because I have to really absorb it. Recently, the BBC had a documentary on psychedelic Britannia, and I was able to see it through Daily Motion. Really enjoyed it. Got me to listening to some old stuff, so I pulled out some incredible string band. Be Glad for the Song Has No Ending. And this music is just really making more sense to me now. I just love it. I just love it. More prog. Schickfurs and Frohling, German three-piece progressive band. Roger Coleman recently bought some prog that came into, I guess, a store in his town. He picked this up. Love this album. But I also pulled, because I have 3 of their albums, their first album, really excellent. This is the one that everyone likes the most. But I'll tell you, to be honest, this is the one I like the most. Sunburst. This is my personal favorite of the 3. Sunburst. Okay. One last thing. I was going really into a prog thing here, actually. Roger had also picked up Galaxy. And this is interesting. The American version of this German album has a better cover than the German original, which is very unusual. It sounds like these may have been some guys who were in the service in Germany who made this record. I don't know the story, but the singing is very, very American sounding. Don't care for the vocals. The music is fantastic. Matter of fact, I've even made edits on tape in the past where I edited out the vocals so you could just hear the music because it's so good. Here's one where their first two albums, Message's first two albums, are extreme collector's items. I don't have them. They go for major money. They've been bootlegged. This is one of their last albums, Astral Journeys. Great cover. It's on Brain. There are some mediocre songs on here. But thankfully, Life is Short is one of the songs on here that saves the album. It's just a certain, I don't know, there's certain kinds of songs that just sound like, I just don't like them. Compared to the other music they do, it's like, here, this is so good and full of ideas, and this other thing just seems so mediocre. I don't understand. But again, that's because we're all individuals, right? Last thing I'll show and maybe make a comment. David Onderdonk, Close Call. Know nothing about this man. Acoustic guitar pieces, some backing with keyboards and some things. This is a gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful album. I don't compare it to anyone. It doesn't sound like Michael Hedges or Philip Aberg. No, I like this. This has more flavor than Windham Hill. Quaver Records. I only have a few things on this label, but every time I see something on this label, I get it because everything I have on it, I love. This is really good. Healthy music. So, last thing I'll say is I like to post my thoughts online on Facebook and interact with people and get reactions. And yesterday my post was about, thinking about my death. I woke up yesterday thinking about my death. I'm not afraid of dying. And don't see it morbidly. And it's just one of those things as you get older, as I understand and that I'm going through it, is that you ponder it more. And sometimes it's really more of a practical thing. It's like, well, if I fall, if this were to happen or if that were to happen, you kind of look at the possibilities and what might I possibly be able to do if I'm alone, or something like that. That was kind of part of what was fueling those thoughts about death, but I'm not afraid of death, No one can really tell what happens next. We all think we know, but no one knows. My thought is the thing that powers this, the engine that powers this body and calls itself Dereck is eternal. When this chapter is done as Dereck, whatever sparked Dereck to be, that's not done. That's eternal. And that's what we all really are, as far as I can tell, as far as what makes sense to me. That's what I really am. So death is a transition. That's there to be afraid of. The main thing I don't care for is, I hope I don't have a painful death, And then today, the thought was to this effect that I woke up thinking about the fact that we all live inside of mental bubbles. And we all think it's reality, but we're all living in our own mental bubble. And it's almost like what they call Babylon. We're almost at that point now where we just babble at each other and we're not able to connect. It's just something I was musing on. The fact that, our experience concretizes the way that we see the world. We so seldom do we take an observer's point of view and step out of the first person and look at our life and ponder it, something I do all the time. It gives me perspective to realize that had I not been born as Dereck Higgins here in Omaha as an African American, say this turn my the person that I became, say I was not born like this, but say I was born maybe in India to a Hindu family, or say maybe I was born in England, white, Caucasian, to a Roman Catholic family. I fully understand how our experience shapes our way of seeing reality, and we're so in it in the moment, we don't realize it's just our experience. We assume this is it, damn it, and everyone else is supposed to see it my way. This is why we're killing each other. But I can see clearly that is not the case. We're merely living in a mental bubble according to our perceptions. It's just I don't know, it's just a clear understanding that it just helps me to just deal with the world as it is and disconnect with so much of the crazy thinking going on. The idea that politics is going to bring us a good solution at any time is, I've disconnected from that. That's fantasy. That's not living in reality. Politics is one of the most destructive forces let loose in society. People holding on to false fantasies and hopes. If the right guy gets in, he'll do this or do that, and over they keep doing the same thing. People hold on to fantasy. Anyway, that's where my mind is at. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware that my reality is the one that I've experienced, so this is what I see. I know that it's not the way it is for everybody. I wish more people had that perspective so we'd stop beating each other up with our beliefs and thoughts, thinking we know how it is for others. The last thing I'll say is it's the one reason why I long ago got to the point where I hated, and I'll say it, I hate preaching, even though I'm here in a way preaching, sharing my thoughts, but I'm not preaching trying to tell you what to do. That's the preaching I don't like. I hate preachers who presume that they know what others should do and tell it like that. I hate it. And one of the reasons why is because very consistently what I have discovered in life is that those very preachers who are telling you what to do are doing things that you would never expect of them. It just goes on and on and on and on.